Hi, I'm David Dodge. Welcome to Green Energy Futures. Just transition. To most people, the idea seems to be about helping workers transition to new jobs as the economy evolves. But recently, we've heard it described as a strategy to slash jobs. What's going on? We set out to find out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ian Hussey. I am a research manager with the University of Alberta's Parkland Institute. I recently released a study called No Worker Left Behind, a job creation strategy for energy transition in Alberta. Generally, we see just transition in a very broad way. We're talking mainly about making sure that communities and workers that have been historically reliant on fossil fuels be taken care of and be given support as the global and Canadian energy systems transition.
Between 2014 and 2022, the Canadian oil industry has cut 43,548 jobs, 35,000 of which were in Alberta. Hussey says oil prices, industry consolidation, and automation were key factors.
That's a global factor. It affected our industry in Alberta, and the industry cut their capital spending by 2/3. So that meant that they were spending less money on building new facilities, building new production, and their ongoing operations, they were accelerating automation. So they were employing less workers, yet they were producing more oil and gas.
Now factor in energy transition, the global effort to produce clean energy, energy-efficient buildings, and low-emissions transportation.
If we're going to take serious, global heating and greenhouse gas emissions, some workers may end up having to transition other jobs. What does that look like? Part of what we're doing in our report is really promoting a visionary report from the Alberta Federation of Labor, which put forward a jobs analysis that we can actually create more jobs than currently exist in Alberta's energy system by actively planning how to diversify our energy and how to deal with the fact that workers are losing their jobs right now because of automation in oil and gas and reduced spending by big oil companies. So that's why we get into all these other things to do with the foundation of our future economy is clean electricity. We have to talk about battery storage because electricity, you produce it and then if you're not using it, you've got to figure out how to store it. Retrofitting homes, which is, again, a personal story for me. My wife and I recently put solar panels on our home, and we have a heat pump in our home.
So, just transition is not about slashing jobs, but it is about preparing workers and the economy for a viable future.
We're not talking about these black and white things. We're not talking about stealing people's jobs. We're talking about reality and facts on the ground, where if we're already losing jobs, but yet we're seeing a huge uptick in clean energy, and a lot of that clean energy is actually being produced because it's being funded by massive corporations, like ones that everyday listeners and viewers would hear about, like Amazon. They have a warehouse in Calgary that is actually provided electricity by the largest solar farm in Canada, which is in southern Alberta. It's recently installed solar farm. And so, it's not just about individual homeowners. It's not just about the one side of the conversation where Daniel Smith seems to really be defending a caricature of what the oil and gas industry is.
Hussey says there is a future for oil and gas, which will be used to produce materials, asphalt binder, and many other products, but perhaps not so much for combustion. Carbon capture and storage will also play a role, and then there are new areas of investment with potential.
In the immediate terms, I would say hydrogen has produced 3,500 new jobs in Edmonton recently. It has attracted billions of dollars in investment. It's helping us to diversify our energy economy, so we become less reliant on traditional oil and gas, although right now our hydrogen is largely being produced by natural gas. What that is leading to is the potential for hydrogen to become a fuel for either energy consumption or for transportation.
Success in just transition will not come from the political theater of pitting fossil fuels against renewables, but rather through jobs we will need in fossil fuels and new jobs that will be created by the trillions of dollars being invested in retrofitting buildings, developing clean energy, and supporting clean transportation. Learn more in our blog at GreenEnergyFutures.ca. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.